Welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. My name is Walter Murillo, and we've been traveling through this journey of the 52 weeks on our way towards doubling your income and doubling your net worth. Hands to the camera if that's something you'd like to do this year. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you've been traveling with us along this wealth building journey for more than one season. Hands to the camera if you've been doing it for more than one season, 2 seasons. Is this your 3rd season? Where our OGs at? Awesome. Let's give our OGs a big round of applause. Alchemist Nation is designed to build wealth builders. Alchemy is the science, the magic of taking somebody who's in a state of sorrow and moving them into a state of abundance, bliss, and creativity. If you've heard somebody say, I need to get more money, I need to get rich, you might want to invite your friends to come and join us on the 52 Weeks of Wealth, because the word need comes from a place of scarcity. The word I am, those 2 words are power words. Hands to if you've heard those words before, you've heard that they are power words. Yes. Another powerful word or phrase is you are. You are. And if you're looking to cast a spell upon another soul, upon another person, you can start that sentence with you are, and anything that you say afterwards, their mind will now have a choice to decide on whether they're going to take it in or if they're going to let it pass on. Unfortunately, in society, most people who hear the words you are just take it in. They just believe it. So be careful with this magic spell that you've been given. Now, week 50. There are 52 weeks. We're in week 23. Wealth principle 23 is the power of partnerships. Last week, we talked about a couple of different principles. We didn't just talk about one. We went through and we discussed a few of the wealth principles. Hands to the camera if you were here last week for wealth principle 22. Excellent. Excellent. Who is here for wealth principle 21? Awesome. Excellent. So if you don't know what the wealth principles are or where to find them, you can go to alchemistnation.com. Right at the top, you have the wealth principles. Wealth principle 21 was create the definiteness of your vision. And we were focusing on getting a little more clear about where we want to go in life, where we want to see and be perceived. Wealth principle 22 was the strategic partnerships, seeking out strategic partnerships and affiliates. Hands to the camera if you got a lot of value from last week's and the weeks before principles. Excellent. Who has already applied some of this into their business? Who's written down some actions, applied something? Excellent. This week, wealth principle 23, the power of partnerships, takes that affiliate and strategic partnership and moves it into something a little more deep, a little more powerful, a little more commitment. Hands to care if you know, selfishness causes poverty. Have you heard that before? Selfishness, being selfish, focus on yourself. Now, if this is a new one, maybe I should go into that first. Excellent. So before I dive into selfishness, and I share a little bit about that, let's talk about some definitions. The power. This is something that can be generated. This is something that is within. The definition of power is, or can be, the potentiality of energy. It is the ability to move another being, another force. Power is something that exists only, or is perceived only when it is used, but it is always there. Who's seen a battery before and thought nothing of it? Anybody seen a battery before? Excellent. Not a lot going on with a battery until you plug it in. And when you plug in a series of batteries, much like a Tesla, if you ever look at the Teslas underneath, their batteries are just little double A's, just a whole bunch of them all lined up together. When you line them up in parallel, you get a lot of power. And that drives a vehicle, one of the fastest vehicles on the planet. Hands to if you ever see the Tesla go at full speed. Awesome. Who's been inside of a Tesla? 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Insanity. So that's what power is. It's potential, but it doesn't actually have to be applied to anything. And so each one of us has power within us, and we have the ability to partner with others. And we're going to talk today about the power of partnering. So partnerships. And a partner. Who has ever partnered with anybody on anything ever? Hands to camera if you've ever partnered with anybody on anything. Yes. Like, do you remember the first time, or remember an early time where you were partnering with somebody? Maybe you were in the playground and somebody was picking on somebody else, or somebody was picking on you, or you decided, hey, let's go do this together. Let's let's go and play a game. Let's work together towards the same end result, the same idea, the same principle. Hence, if you felt a little more powerful when that other person agreed in that moment where they said yes. Awesome. And then when you're out with your friends, or you're out with your tribe, or you're with your community, or you're out with your business partners, if you have them, or you're out with your spouse, don't you feel a little more powerful when you're out with somebody who you know has your back? Hence, if you felt that as well. That's a power. That's the power of partnership. It's just a little tapping into it. Now, the power of partnerships goes way beyond just that feeling that you get, that ooh, something could happen at any moment. If somebody jumped in here, we'd handle it. Who's been out to a scenario where it was a little bit of a risky space, a risky, dangerous place? Anybody ever been to one of those risky places? Think about that for a moment. You've been there, and you've been with one of your friends, and that thought comes across your mind like, if shit goes down, I know they got my back. And whoever messes with us is about to get messed up. Has anybody ever felt that moment? Right? It was like actually a dangerous scenario, but you also realized you were actually the dangerous one in the room. Has anybody ever felt that before? Because you had your partner there, you had somebody who had your back. Yes. I feel this way anytime I go out with my brother, because my brother is a lethal weapon. He's literally a trained lethal weapon. or Ron Bowling is like a lethal weapon in the internet space. I always feel like when I have my business partners around, or my life partner, Dorina, you should see Dorina. Man, if somebody messes with this woman, messes with me, she's like, no, sorry, Walter's calendar does not look like that. You don't belong there. Off the calendar. Like in a second. I've got so much respect for the people that are close to me in my life. And without my partners, I wouldn't be where I am today. And that's fair to say for everybody on this call. Anybody have a partner who's really changed their lives? Hands if you had a partner who's really changed your life at some point. Excellent. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to get more of that. Last week, we talked about affiliate partnerships. We talked about strategic partnerships. Today on alchemistnation.com, this morning around 12 midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, I dropped a post about 12 steps to becoming a millionaire. The 12 steps, how you could do it, how you could get there. And at the bottom of the post, I said, this is a way to become a millionaire. But in today's 52 Weeks to Wealth, I'm going to talk about an even faster, even easier, quicker, shorter path to becoming a millionaire. Who's heard me say 3 to 5 years to become a millionaire? Who's heard me say that? All right. Well, we're going to talk about the fastest, the highest leverage, the quickest way to become a millionaire today. Now, this is hot stuff. This is the stuff that could change lives. It's also stuff that could be completely missed because the subconscious mind doesn't want to change. The subconscious mind is designed to stay right where it's been, operating the way you've always operated, so you can stay safe. Remember, the subconscious mind was not designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you right where you're at so you don't get eaten by a lion. And it will keep you where you are so that you stay safe and you don't grow, because growth is dangerous, because wherever growth happens, change could happen, and change is, scary to the subconscious mind. So we can't trust it to remember the things that we're learning today. So it may make sense, perceived intelligence, to write it down. Leverage what we as human beings, what separates us from the animals, that we can store our knowledge on external sources of memory, substrate, like pieces of paper. So why is this wealth principle better than all the rest? Why is, in fact, this wealth principle almost dead center to the 52 weeks? Wealth principle 26 is a powerful principle because it is the center of our whole program. And then wealth principle 27, again, is a lock it in, kind of double down. But wealth principle 23 leads into this powerful month of really solidifying what you've been doing and giving you the tools that previously were unavailable. Because if I started off with partnerships, you probably wouldn't have done it. Hence, Karen, if you understand, we have to learn things in certain orders to take action on them. Excellent. Let's say you want to become a millionaire and you want to do it in 30 days. So you didn't have a lot of time, but you knew you had a product, you had something you could sell. Who here has a product, has a way to make money, has something they could sell to others? Yes? Excellent. Excellent. And I want you to do an exercise with me, because we do exercise every single week, because here's what I also discovered about the subconscious mind. It will remember a very small portion of what it hears. It will remember even less of what it reads, but it will retain a large majority. 80% is retained when it takes action, when it goes out and does something, when you're forcing it into doing something. And so I'm going to ask you this week is to write down an activity that you're going to take action on either during, right after, or throughout the rest of the week to really dial it in. Hands to camera if you're down to do an exercise again this week. Another exercise, another principle. Let's give Luba a round of applause. She's going out to the next conference. Get it? She's going to Airbnb this week. Now, this principle gets tied into a powerful exercise. Hands to camera if you're willing to do this morally, ethically, and legally, and you know this is some dangerous stuff that I'm about to give you. Yes? I started this off with a powerful spell, the spell of you are, which can be used on other people. And the spell of I am, which can be used within on yourself. This is some real alchemy. The power of partnerships. In order to make $1 million in 30 days, let's say you had a product. Let me talk about one of my favorite products. We got the 100 Millionaire Summit coming up. Hands to camera if you know you're going to be at the 100 Millionaire Summit this year so that you can hang with 100 millionaires in the room. There'll be more than 100 millionaires in the room with us, but there's going to be over 100 millionaires. Who knows that they're there to meet other people who they could potentially partner with? Excellent. If you didn't know, now you know. The whole point in the 100 Millionaire Summit is to find the money, find the deals, find the labor, the people who will go and do the work for you, because those are the three components to building wealth: deals, money, and labor. Or another way to put that for entrepreneurs is a business model, somebody who can do all the work, and the capital to buy all the equipment and buy the advertising. 30 days to make $1 million. Let's say I sell tickets to the 100 Millionaire Summit. I sell my executive tickets, my favorite tickets, because those tickets come with not one, but two tickets to the 100 Millionaire Summit in the executive seats with some VIP stuff, but not all the VIP stuff, some cool swag like these shirts and a book, but also comes with a membership to the mentorship. Who knows, you need a mentor to get to the next level if you want to get there fast. I like cheat codes in life. I like hacks. So I use mentors to get me to the next level. A lot of people met my mentor this week, one of my many mentors. And it was a lot of cool fun in Boston. And we're going to not just give one mentorship to the person who buys the executive tickets. We're going to give two mentorship memberships. Now, the mentorship is designed to help you learn the habits and get into, in 8 weeks, a powerful 8 weeks, into the mindset of success and abundance. Who's been through the mentorship already and has had a phenomenal increase in success? Hands to the camera if that's been true for you. You need 2 hands if you've been in more than one time. All right. So give yourselves a round of applause. So that's one of my favorite products. It's $1,500. The mentorship is worth $2,000. So there's 2 of them in there. That's $4,000. The executive tickets are $1,500, but they're actually worth $3,000. We price them right now at $1,500. So you're getting 2 of those. So that's a $6,000 value plus a $4,000. That's a $10,000 value for $1,500. Hands to camera if you understand why that's my favorite product right now. It's the game changer, right? For anybody who's not been a part of our community, for anybody who is a part of our community, because you get to bring somebody along with you. Anyway, I love that product. So that's my product, $1,500 product. Hands to camera if we can do the math on this. It's going to be a fun one. Excellent. I'm going to simplify it because I don't just sell that product myself. I use affiliates to sell that product. And so I only make $750 while my affiliate makes $750. Is that fair that I pay my salespeople amazing amounts of money? Excellent. So this product, this topic could work for you too if you chose to move this path. Now, $750 every time I sell. It's not $1 million. Hands to camera if you recognize. We already did the math. It's not $1 million. It's far from it, right? But if you multiplied that times 1,000, you now have $750,000. And if you added 1,250, you now have $1 million. So you'd have to sell that product to 1,250 people. Hands camera if you know that math is true. That is only true if I wasn't going to sell something at the event. I'm going to sell a program called Mastery. Who knows about Mastery? Who's heard about Alchemist Mastery? Who has bought into Alchemist Mastery or watched other people buy into Alchemist Mastery and seen them skyrocket, do amazing, do well? Well, that program will also be sold. The people who sold tickets to the event will also be gaining a little bit of money from the tickets sold at the event. So if somebody buys into Mastery, which is a $25,000 program, we're giving our affiliates $2,500. Now, I know the math on that product is 10%. So 10% of everybody who's in the room will end up buying the program. On the low side, last year was 26%. Hands to the camera, if you know I'm a really good salesperson. Has nothing to do with me being a great salesperson. It's just an amazing product. You want to be an amazing salesperson? And if you're looking, by the way, if you're looking for partners who are amazing salespeople, create an undeniably great product, a no-brainer product, something that gives a 10x return to whoever who purchases it. Does that make sense? It's not about being a great salesperson. It's really about having a great product. That's how you sell to a 25% return on cash or 25% conversion rate. Now, this strategy to sell 1,200, which I wouldn't have to sell 1,200. I probably only have to sell about that 1,000 I went on with originally because of the amount that the other one makes. See how you can add a product later on once you've built a relationship with somebody. We're catching this in business. It's not just first money. There's always second money, third money, fourth money. There are a lot of ways that we monetize. I'm a great partner because I like paying affiliate fees. I love paying. You brought them in, cool. We got a deep relationship for a long time. I'll make residual money your thing. Right, with Alchemist Connect, that's now another $25 a month when somebody signs up for the affiliate program. So somebody came in because of you, they signed up, they bought something, they bought something else. So can your product, by the way, think about this, can your product pay your partners for a long period of time? Write this down. That is a question to be asking yourself all the time as you're looking for partners. Do I charge enough? Do I deliver enough value where I can make somebody else rich? And if you can't, we got some work to do. We want to make sure that we're doing and constantly improving our products and our offerings. It's a very powerful question. Write that down. Can I, with my products, make somebody else rich? Can I allow somebody else in? Now, if I want to sell 1,000 tickets to an event like the Summit, all it would take is one partner, one very powerful partnership. That would be somebody who has an audience of 10,000 people, because again, 10% conversion. And with that one relationship, that one person, one conversation, that deep commitment, hey, I'm going to make you half of everything I make. Is that okay? And Scam, if you know really good partners, don't mind splitting. It's quite all right. And yes, there are other ways to partner. In real estate, we talk about it all the time, the 33, 33, 33. If you brought the deal, you're generally owed 33%. But if you don't have enough confidence to negotiate yourself, you could get 10% for bringing a deal or 7% for bringing a deal. Or you could get 50% for bringing a deal. It really depends on your confidence level and your negotiation skills and the position of your partners that you're bringing into these deals. So there are multiple different avenues where you could say, okay, I'm getting this percentage, I'm getting this percentage. In syndication, there are two very popular models. There's a 70% and 30%, where the general partners will take 30% of the deal and the limited partners will get 70% of the deal. But I've also seen syndicators, GPs, who will take 50% of the deal for finding the deal and managing the deal. Hands to the camera, if you know, it's all about your confidence in what your partners are looking for, what they're willing to join in on. So with this particular scenario, in 30 days, if I found a man or woman or a series of influencers who had that size audience, and I was able to find enough value in the room between them and myself and say, hey, look, this is a thing that I'm doing to build millionaires. Can't you get behind building 100 millionaires? By the way, if they say yes, we're already friends. I don't even care if we can do something beyond that. But if they say yes and they have, let's say, 1,000 true followers who buy everything that they sell, then it would make sense for us to jump on a call and do an event together and sell and offer an opportunity to move to that event. That would be 100 people showing at the 100 Millionaire Summit. When we bring people into the summit, we build them into millionaires. It takes 3 to 5 years. That's our process, right? Great program, great process. But all it takes for you to make $1 million in 30 days is to go and find that person and have that conversation, and you're both making $500,000. Does that make sense? If they only bring 1,000 people to an event that sells 10% of the room, 100%. Now, this strategy, a lot of times we ignore it because it seems too big in our own worlds, in our own lives. But hands to the camera, for a moment, you could see how it'd be very easy for me to do, right? Even if it's not possible for you, hands to the camera, if you see it's easy for me to do. Excellent. So let's just pretend that this scenario exists in your world for your product right now. This is something called the Dream 100. And the Dream 100 is a book that we don't put out in Alchemist Nation because it's $100 book. And so we want to keep our people down to a pretty reasonable value. But we do have a book of the week that is an extremely important and powerful book. I'll talk about it in just a little bit. I'm going to bring Mike in because I see Mike's actually, he and Mike are at an event right now for Rock Your Life. It's for coaches, speakers who are looking to learn more about marketing. And me and Mike are both here with you guys, just like we are every week, to support you instead of being in that room right now. Hands to the camera if you know that's a lot of value. Let's give Mike Shine a big round of applause for hanging out with us too. A lot of money in that room right now. So we are going to jump back there after the Q&A session. When you're looking for a partner, there are 6 steps. There are 6 very key core principles. And Mike Shine put those into a course on Alchemist University a few months back. He's writing his book right now. His book is actually finished. By the way, let's give Mike Shine one more round of applause for completing his book. The cover is being designed right now. Me and Jen are actually designing the cover, and we're going to be posting it to Alchemist Nation. We're going to be posting it to Amazon, getting it published, getting it ready to go within the next 30 days. But because we didn't have it in time for the power of partnerships, I'm just going to talk about it. Is that okay? If I talk about the 6 steps that are in the book, would that be valuable to everybody on the call? Show me your hands if you want to know the 6 steps. Excellent. In which case, as you wish, your wish is my command. And I'll share them on the screen as I go into them myself. And this is, if you're new to the community, you can go to alchemistnation.com. You have access to these courses for free. This is a service that our millionaires have done for you. Part of the mission is to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires, because we believe that millionaires, well, shit, life's just way more fun when you have a lot of money. But also you can create causes, you can change your community, you can serve your family better. So you want to come into the Power of Partnerships by Michael Shine. And these are the 6 steps. In fact, communication, embrace power. We got to get this video in here. Okay, it's in here. So I'm going to release it then. So step 1 is you must communicate. You must communicate with your partners. And if you don't communicate with your partners, you don't actually have a partnership. Hence the camera, if you recognize communication is key. Now, my view is going to be a little different from your view because, well, I run the platform. But once you get in here, Mike's created a really cool video with some lessons on how to do this. Hands to the camera if you know you could use a partner in your life right now, that if you had a partner, you'd be doing a lot more deals. And if you don't believe that, my business partner, Ron Bowling, is on the call. He's my longest business partner. I think he and I have been together for almost 7 years. So we got the 7-year itch coming up. And that itch just says, buy more businesses for us. It says, let's double down. Let's go bigger. Let's do more. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Ron. I know I wouldn't. I know for sure I wouldn't. I would be, I'd probably still be in Las Vegas. I'd be having some fun out there. Probably not doing calls or coaching with people. I'd probably be running a real estate team, just a bunch of agents running around saying, hey, you want to sell your house? Hey, you want to buy a house? That is definitely not who I am today because of the conversations that I've had with my partner around what makes the world a better place. What are the problems in the world? And we recognize that ignorance is one of them. And if it wasn't for Ron, he brought $150,000 of capital to our company early on, where $150,000 of capital actually meant something to us. You know, right now we play with millions of dollars. We're doing a refinance that is looking at like $1.4 million of cash. We're selling $1.5 million in real estate, where I think we get to keep about $750,000 of that. So like those numbers to us are now about average. They seem like a decent sized, normal sized deal to us. But when we started, like coming up with 25,000, like we're buying houses with down payments of $25,000. Who knows, like 150 is a game changer. That's quite a bit. And when you're just doing 25,000, right? So when he and I partnered, there were a lot of things that he and I had to communicate. We weren't sure how to do this. We'd never done it before. I always said partners for dancing, which is embarrassing to me now as I teach about the power of partnerships. But this is where I was. This was who I was raised to be, was don't trust other people, right? Keep it tight, keep it close. because other people could screw you. Other people could take the money and run. Other people are going to let you down. Nobody's going to work as hard as you. Who's heard all this bullshit? Yes. Yes. Who said some of it accidentally, not knowing? Is anybody? Yes. I am so embarrassed because I've been coaching and training and teaching for years. I used to say partners are for dancing live. I've said it over in front of over 5,000 real estate agents across the country. This was one of the things I used to say, and it embarrasses, it disappoints me. But what I will say is I'm going to teach you that, partnerships are really powerful with the right tools. And that's what Mike laid out in this course. Communication is key. Now you must be clear on your goals. Step 2, you must be clear on your goals with your partner. If you and your partner want different things, perfect partnership is me and Darina. Very early in the relationship, like day one, I was like, I'm going to build 100. No, it wasn't. I didn't say that yet. That was something she and I grew up together. She was there building the 100 millionaires concept. I said, I am going to change the world. I am going to make a ding in the universe. And I'm going to, I really was following the whole model of Apple's. Like, I want to change something so big that I can prove that this stuff works. All the stuff that I've been taught, all the stuff that's been put into me, all of the coaching I've spent money on, all the books I've read, over 400 books, 150,000 coaches all across the country, all these events I've been to. I told us, like, I've got to prove that this stuff works. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I got to go and I got to go help people become wealthy, because there was a moment where I wasn't wealthy, where I was going through a divorce, where I was scared, where I was alone, and I was terrified that I wasn't going to, be able to do the things that I want to do as a man. I was seriously considering taking my life. Hence, Karen, if you've heard that story before or felt, there before, you felt like, man, like I got nowhere else to turn. Like, things just have to work. And in that moment, I said, I'm going to learn how money works. And when I do, I'm going to teach as many people as I possibly can. I shared this with Darina, early in that partnership. I set a very clear goal. I said, whatever it takes, I'm going to continue teaching. I'm going to learn, I'm going to teach, and I'm going to grow. And every day, like, I will change. Every year I will change. If you are dating me because of the way I am today, then it's not going to work. You have to date me for who I'm becoming and where I'm going and what I'm building and the people I'm surrounding myself with, because that's what you're buying when you invest in this. You're not investing in who I am today. You're investing in who I'm going to be in the future. Does that make sense? Regress that clear goal, very clear intention of where I was going. Be willing to have and embrace that communication with your partners. It will help you and it will help them with clarity on where you're going. If goals change, the partnership could fall apart. These are things I've learned from Mike Shine, right? As Mike is, he and I worked on that book together with Jen's pen, and we were going through the process of what are the 6 steps to great partnerships. Step 3 is morning rituals and clear goals. So you must have routines and rituals. Actually, that's actually a video, but I don't think that was one of the steps, was it, Mike? It wasn't one of the steps. Let me dive into that one a little deeper. Went into affirmations. All right, so you're gonna have to go and read the book for his 3rd step. Jen, do you have it? Do you have it in front of you? While waiting for 3, I'm going to go into 4, long-term commitments. Long-term commitments are the basis for a partnership. If you did not want to be doing something with somebody, you don't need to partner. You could strategic partner. You could be an affiliate. But when you're thinking about partnership, you're talking about, it's like marriage. You're talking about very long-term stuff. We're going to do this for 3 years. We're going to do it for 5 years, doing it 7 years, 10 years. This is long-term, especially in real estate. The market could turn, which, looks like it's in the middle of a turn, which, by the way, that doesn't mean it's crashing today. That means it's in the middle of a turn, a very long turn, a turn that could take 18 months. But in that turn, you may not be able to sell the properties that you were thinking about selling. You may not be able to flip deals that you thought you were going to flip. It may make sense to rent them out. You may have to find different strategies to get the cash flow because you didn't buy it right, or you're too highly leveraged, or your debt is too high. Maybe you're at 12% interest right now. Ron and I, during a while back, during COVID, we were in 12% interest on $2.5 million. Interest only payments, $25,000 a month. Chance Karen, if you know, that's a portfolio that's really got to have something special to cash flow. And we found a way. We had to find creative ways to pull more cash out of that portfolio. And we had to go and get creative. We had to raise capital we borrowed more money just to pay the debt that we had just to survive. You have to get a little more creative during times when the system changes. So you may think it's going to be a quick hold or a flip, and it turns into 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So these are long-term relationships, and you have to be thinking long-term. This is not a one-night stand kind of gig. Jen, do we have the third principle?
Get over yourself.
Get over yourself. There it was. Okay. That's why we were talking about rituals and clear goals. So getting over yourself, being able to be humble with your partner. It's not all about you. I said this, I started this call earlier with selfishness. So many people are broke because they're selfish. They're focused on them. They're focused on what they want and what they want to do and how they feel. Who's ever been really upset because somebody didn't understand how they felt? Has anybody ever experienced that? Yeah. Has anybody heard somebody else say that? Like, you don't understand, how I feel. Yes. They're being selfish in that moment. We should pay attention to them. Yes. We should serve them and listen and be involved. But any moment where somebody is being selfish is a moment where they're cutting themselves off from the universe, where they're saying, nope, I don't actually want anything. Please keep it away from me. Because people are attracted to people who are selfless, people who are giving, who are thinking about others, who are serving and supporting. Now you do have to, think about yourself and your goals at some point. But when you're interacting with others, being selfless is going to get you a whole lot further. When you're giving before asking for something, when you're sharing valuable information, valuable resources, valuable relationships with others, those moments, or valuable experiences, those moments are where opportunity is created, when you're sharing first, when you're giving first, when you're being selfless. And sometimes winning the fight in a partnership is not as important as keeping the partnership together. And that's where we're being humble and, like forgetting yourself and just saying, look, you're right. This conversation, your opinion on this is more important to me. Like you're the relationship is more important to me than figuring out right now who's right or wrong here. And it is possible that we're both right. And it's also possible that we're both wrong. And one of my favorite sentences, my cheat code for being humble in a partnership is, I've been wrong before. I love saying that. Like, you might be right. I've been wrong before. And I genuinely do believe I have been wrong in the past. It doesn't mean I think I'm wrong right now, but it does mean that I may have to go do some research before I get to win this argument, or I may have to go do some research before I identify that you were right in this argument. And I'm thankful that you were energetic enough to keep me going, to make me realize that there was a new truth that I wasn't aware of. Hence, care if you're either right or you're about to learn. If you live life that way, you'll always be right. And you should fight for what you believe in, but you should also fight harder for truth. I love to see a person's side and fight for them and their side, even if it's not what I agree with. Hey, okay, let's go look into this. So we could do a whole call on that. Complementary strengths in partnerships. This is where the real money comes in. Me and Mike have opposite strengths. We have some similar strengths. Me and Ron have opposite strengths, right? Mike has his law degree. He's passed the bar. I don't have that, but I have a large community. I'm really good at marketing. So when Alchemist Title was formed, it was based on his ability, his team, his staff, his knowledge, his skills, his experience, and his licensing, so that we can serve more people via closings because of the marketing, the funnel, the amount of people we're bringing in who are real estate investors. Jen's pen, it was the same idea. She had a skill, a talent, and we had the ability to draw in people, to identify who might need our service. And I had the ability to close people on a really great product. And so Jen and I said, let's do this together. Let's build more millionaires our quote is, we help more people who help people help more people. So building 100 millionaires through helping them write their books. When Ron and I got together, it was, let's just buy a bunch of real estate. Ask Cameron if the business plan can be that simple, right? His strength was that he was stable, consistent, organized. My strength was I was a heavy punch. I could go out there. I was the machine gun, right? Point me in the direction and I will kill whatever's in front of me. So raise capital, find deals, find contractors, whatever was needed in the business, you put me in place. You don't want to put me in place to manage the properties for a long period of time because I get bored and I can get destructive. But if you put me out into the battlefield, man, I'm like a general out in the battlefield. I can close and do big things. And Karen, if you know you need somebody at home, keeping things stable, making sure you're holding it down while you're out there on the battlefield, taking action, making moves, right? Bringing in the big players, making those big calls, right? Those are equal partners. Those are equal values. Can they be replaced? Either one of us could be replaced at any moment. It would just be a lot of work. It would be a lot of training, and they have to find the right people. And as you scale your company, the goal is to always replace your partners, right? You want to be replacing each other so that they can become a little more passive, do higher level stuff. I pull Ron back out of businesses and out of strategies and tactics and responsibilities all the time because he has a complementary strength to mine, which is he can automate and he can systematize things. He's already automated and systematized our property management business. Now we've shifted him into Alchemist Nation, into Alchemist Connect, the CRM that we built with Mark Dozwa. So that another business partner, right? Somebody who had a lot more technical skills, saw a product, said, man, I think that the community could use this. Ron and I said, sign us up because we've sold and built CRMs in the past and used them for real estate agents. Now we have one that we can use for entrepreneurs, one we can use for coaches, and one we can use for real estate investors. And obviously agents are one of all of those things. So we built a CRM with a partner who was willing to do all the work, called customer service, make sure that everybody was okay, and continue development as things change with the platform. Alchemist Financial, right? Frank knew a lot about mortgages. He was willing to go out and do those things and leveraged our marketing abilities. Ryan McDermott, as we build Alchemist Insurance, so that we can support investors with better quality insurance, better products, better services. Hands Cam, if you're catching this, if you're catching that, having complementary strengths. Me and Ron's one strength, our big thing, is we're very organized. We're great marketers. And we're really good salespeople. Like he and I can close just about anything between the two of us. All of the other partnerships are the technical integration of the product itself. We're catching how this works out in our world. Excellent. Last one, co-working skills and assets. Sometimes you partner because the other person has money, has access to people, have access to resources, has certain skills that you require. That's part of what we're just talking about, complementary strengths. Those other components could be so valuable to you that you need them in your life. So to finish up this exercise, I want you to write down the person, or you could be more than one person, but let's focus on one person, the person who has had the biggest impact in your life, the person who has had the biggest impact, since we're talking about money, in your career, made you the most money, has brought the most deals to you, has done the most work for you, profited the most off of that relationship. Write that person's name down. And if you have to validate, if you got multiple people, just write down who, like go back and say who have I made the most money with, right? What is the relationship that has made me the most money? This could be somebody who has been a client of yours. They may not be as obvious. They may be a client. They may be a strategic partner. Could be an affiliate. They could be a competitor. They could be a competitor who's been sending you business, or who you've been learning from, or who you've been admiring and following their process and creating similar systems. There's a lot of different ways that money has flown to you. And I want you to think about this as you're thinking about this person. Write their name down. And I want you to write down underneath their name, what can I do to become a partner in their business? Or what room can I make for them to become a partner in my business? What room can I make for them? Or what room do they already have available that I could likely open up for myself, have a conversation with, and insert and put myself into their space, into their business, and become a partner so that we can both grow together, so that we can both level up what we're already doing. But instead of 1 + 1 being 2, 1 + 1 can be 11, and we can go all the way to the top, right? I say it all the time. There's plenty of room at the top. I'll see you at the summit. So the idea is identify your strengths. What makes you a great partner? And Mike's book talks a lot about this. Identify your strengths, what makes you a great partner, but also identify all your weaknesses. And your weaknesses are what's going to make your partner great and your business be able to explode. In fact, that leads me right to the book of the week, which I know Mike doesn't have it with him. But Mike has read the book and he can still do the book of the week. Who's got the book Rocket Fuel anywhere near them in their office? Awesome. Mike Shine, the holistic attorney, the closer, the keeper of the books.
Hey,
Let's give Mike a round
Walter.
of applause.
Yeah. Hey, Walter. I hope this sounds okay in the hotel room. Can you hear me? Everybody, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Cool. All right. So it's not too often that I recommend another book before you read the book of the week. But in this case, even though I absolutely love this book, I would suggest if somebody's starting out that they read first the E-Myth Revisited, and then after that read Traction, and then after that read this book, because Rocket Fuel really doubles down on the relationship between the visionary and the integrator, and that's why Walter and I picked it for the partnership week. It's a really valuable lesson to be able to watch Walter and Ron work together. It's like a lesson in rocket fuel. It's an amazing relationship. Walter talks about it almost every week. They meet on Mondays, they meet on Fridays, and Walter's just a visionary, as we all know. And Ron is just an amazing integrator. It just blows my mind when Walter opens up the fire hose and just sprays a new idea and Ron can take it, digest it. Obviously there's help. Darina's around. Now there's Amy and Andrew, but Ron's been there from the beginning. And that's what when I think of Rocket Fuel, that's what I think of. I think of an amazing visionary with an amazing integrator and how they work together. And in my life, obviously partnerships, I throw a bunch of stuff at Brenda and she just handles it as an integrator. I don't know if she always wants to be the integrator, but she does an amazing job. Same with Ken, also with my partner, Jim Bryden. But this book can really help you nail down that subject and how that partnership works. So it's a really great book. Start with the E-Myth, go to Traction, and then go to this book, and oh my God, your business will take off. So amazing book, and great to see you all from Dallas. Sweet. Peace.
Let's give Michael Shine a round of applause. The book of the week is a challenge. It's an opportunity for you to read one book every week because there are 52 weeks in the year. That means at the end of the year, you have read 52 books, which puts you at a 52-to-1 advantage over the average person who only reads one book a week. And most never get past chapter 1. So give yourselves a round of applause if you've been reading one book a week with us. I know everybody in the mentorship, which if you're seeing their cameras open right now, these are people who are in our community in the Alchemist mentorship program. They have paid money. I know it sounds crazy. They paid money to get to the next level a little bit faster and have a deeper relationship with us and the other millionaire coaches. That's okay. For everybody who is still out in the attendees area, we're going to pull you in just a minute. I wanted to just clean this all of this up with, in your business, that partner you just wrote down. If you are the integrator, if you are the person who's built a really good business, a really good product, you're really great at doing the doing, like Michael Gerber talks about in the E-Myth. Great call, Mike. The do it stuff. Then you might be looking for a marketer or a salesperson or a series of salespeople, maybe a team leader of salespeople, a sales manager. It is possible that that is the partnership that you're looking for. If you are the salesperson, the greatest salesperson on the planet, a great marketer, an influencer with millions of followers, then you might just be missing the product. You might just be missing the person who can deliver on the product. Or as Ron and I have identified, a series of products, because here's one more tip that I wasn't intending to talk about today. This is really more of a marketing thing, but the person who can spend the most money per client, the person who earns the most per client can spend the most money to acquire the next client, which means you win in the marketplace. The person who can earn the most per client is able to spend more to acquire the next client, which means you win in the game of marketing. And the way we've done that is we have a great audience who buys real estate, and then we get monetized on every step of the way, every step of what they're already going to buy anyway. Hands camera, if that makes sense. Right? Anybody who's buying real estate needs insurance. They need a closing attorney. They need lending. They need a real estate agent. They need a little bit of coaching to get there. And so we've just built a little system that allows us to, through our strategic partners and through our partnerships, to make money off of every single step along the way. If you don't have an audience, you might be one of those steps. You might be one of those processes. I'm going to put this challenge out to everybody. The person who has the biggest audience makes the most money, if done right. But the next step, partner-wise, is if you can connect and add value to the person with the biggest audience, you could be making just as much money or close to it. Hence, Camp recognize to see the value of partnerships right now. We're seeing that we could, in 30 days, completely change our lives by simply either taking our product and dropping it into the jet stream, or adding a product to our existing jet stream. If you've already got a ton of followers, you got a ton of people in your network, you got a big database, then now it's time to drop a product in that could pick up additional income. If you don't have a database, then you might want to find somebody with a big database. Hence, Camp for catching this. We understand where our role is. Who knows immediately where their role is? Right now knows exactly where you're at. You know, you're either the database or you're the product. Yes? Excellent. Awesome. So Dorina, let's bring everybody into the main room. I'm going to stop this call. We're going to open up to questions and answers. Next week's wealth principle. Hold on, let me record. Next week's wealth principle is wealth principle 24, the power of stick-to-itiveness. That is one word, stick-to-itiveness. I changed it from what was previously formerly known as you will fail, do not give up on the process. I didn't like that one too much because people didn't like that one too much. Whenever I post it, it was my lowest attendance of all the 52 weeks to wealth, even though it was my favorite principle. Wealth principle 24 is just so juicy. It's like, as long as you stick to it long enough, you're going to be rich. Just, don't give up. As you've heard that before, you only fail if you give up, right? It was like the most important of all the principles. Just stay going. If you suck at all the other ones, but you stay in it long enough, you'll get there. Right? So wealth principle 24, I'm going to teach you how to do that, how to stay in it, how to keep going. For everybody who's wearing one of the 100 Millionaire shirts, let's throw those shirts to the camera. I want to see our people. Where you at? I see Greg LeBlanc's guy, Dr. Terry Wager, Ron Bowling. Awesome. We're going to see you at the 100 Millionaire Summit this year. But before that, we do have Generator Business School. Generator Business Boot Camp is coming up August. When is the date, Dorina?
5th, 6th, and 7th of August.
So I will be back in New England for the 5th, 6th, and 7th of August. If you missed me this past time, I will be there, but I'm not coming alone. I'll be there with Dr. Terry Wager. I know Doug McGurk is coming. Mitch Jaworski is coming. Dorina will be there. Ron Bowling is going to be there. Ryan McDermott will be there. Michael Shine will be in the room. Heidi Rain will be there. We're going to be bringing a bunch of millionaires into the Rhode Island area so that we can serve for 3 days straight, teaching how to build partnerships, how to scale your business, how to build your teams, how to map out your business plan, get to that next level. Hence, Cam, if you know you want to double your income, double your net worth this year, down to do it. Generator Bootcamp, Generator Business Bootcamp is the place to be for 3 days. You can tell me you don't like my hair. That's possible, right? You can tell me you don't like my eyebrows. You can tell me you don't like the sweet beard, but do not tell me you don't have 3 days to learn the steps to become a business professional. The cost is ridiculously low. It's $247. Again, don't tell me you don't have $247 to get to the next level. If that is your problem, you've got bigger problems. As Cam, if you understand that. If coming up with $250 in 3 days is a challenge, then they'll tell you what, you need to be there at this event. I don't say that at all events. Like if you're broke and you can't rub 2 nickels together, borrow 2 nickels, like borrow the $250. If you have to work a job and you're working 3 jobs right now, go in, like borrow somebody else's time, beg somebody else to take that time for you at work, right? Go and do a 4th job. It's time to pick up job number 4 so you can take 3 days off. And it's Cam, if you understand how important it is to learn business marketing, sales. This is what we're going to be teaching deep at Generated Business Bootcamp, because at the 100 Millionaire Summit, we're going to be focusing on scale. We're going to be focusing heavily on partnerships. We're going to be focusing very heavily on putting you in the room with millionaires, deal doers, and connecting each other, how to leverage and connect each other's skills. Every one of the 4 events that we run throughout the year is designed to double your income, double your net worth. The 52 Weeks to Wealth is a tool in that process to keep you engaged. The 52 Wealth Principles are a tool that keep you on the track, on the path. But the live events, that's where we make it happen. Hands can, if you know, it's really powerful when you're live with another person. That game changer. Yes. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Anybody with an excuse that you can't make it, please shoot me a text. I want to hear your excuse because I have a feeling that it's not real. Share the screen with the website. Dorina, can you drop the link with the website in the chat? Oh, Felly did it already. Awesome. Excellent. So I will share the screen of the website. Who'd like to see the screen? Who'd like to see this landing page that Dorina worked so hard on? And by Dorina, I mean Dorina and her team.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. So here it is. You come in here and you drop a little bit of information, just your name, like this, and your email address. And hit the register now button. And once you register, you're in. You're gonna have to put a little bit of payment information. Again, it's for today, $247. We previously did charge $3,500. That's not a fake number. We actually charged that for people, and we have people who did pay that. So, we got to give them extra value. This is only for the people who are on this call right now, who see this opportunity and who are going to be there and bring a friend if you care enough about them to get them to the next level. If you don't care about your friends, then don't tell them about this great opportunity. Hence, care if we understand. We care if we share. We share if we care. Awesome. But now I can't unshare this screen because of Zoom. So I want to open up to questions while I figure out how to unshare the screen. What questions do you have about anything we talked about today? Eric, you're up, brother.
Yeah, actually, how's it going, Walter? Man, I appreciate it. All you guys too. Shouts out. Thank God for the AC, for the Alchemist Nation. Shouts out to all you guys. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. But the question kind of came to me. I'm thinking about that name change. So you mean to tell me that the name change, you're going to fail, scare people from that, and now stick to it if this is a bigger name? Now you're getting more people there?
That's the truth, brother.
But I mean,
science
the
and
whole
marketing.
the whole process is about growth and development and really getting into that place and growing into the spot of success and earning it. So it's part of the process of failing. So I'm kind of baffled by that. Had a little powwow with one of your fellow millionaires. I am a millionaire to be, but earlier in the week, and I asked a question about how could I make, I guess, $50, 10x up to $500 in the next couple of months so we can make it to the conference in October.
Hell yeah. I love that. So if you want to make another couple $100, let's see, hotel costs, right? For 3 days, 4 days,
right?
You should pay an extra day. So what are the hotels right now, Dorina? Is $150 for everybody who uses our link? I think it's a little more affordable. Dorina, where are you at?
I'm here.
What is the cost for a hotel right now? Using our link, not I don't know what they charge.
It's actually a little bit more expensive, but it's about $250 a night.
$250 per night?
Yes.
But cheaper with our link than if somebody
No,
else.
it's more than $300 a night because it's the season of weddings, I believe, in New England. So we got the best rate so far.
Hold on, Eric. Which event were you talking about?
In October.
Right, the October event. Right. Let me in that summit.
You're talking about our summit. Sorry, summit is 119. Not even like.
All right. So the summit is 119 a night. By the way, for everybody who's wondering why we do our events in Orlando, that is the reason. It is much more affordable for our community to be in Orlando than it is to be in New England. The New England trip is obviously $250 a night if somebody's flying in, and that's one of the reasons. So okay, I got to now add 120 plus 120 plus 120. Let's say you stay 4 days. So we're gonna go with $480. Eric, we're cool with that. $480.
Split the room. Split the room with someone.
Okay, that's intelligent. When we used to travel a lot in 2017, I used to split the room all the time with guys like Terry, with Drew Martin. We split the room everywhere we went. All right, so let's say your flight is another $400. Doreen, is that fair to say? From anywhere in the country is probably
It's
$400 or
probably
$500.
less actually. Orlando is such a popular destination. It's probably like if you
Okay.
book tickets now.
Depends where
One
you're
of the
flying
other-
from. Depends what kind of flight you're getting. If you want to take 5 planes, it's going to be a little cheaper. If you want to take a direct flight, it's going to be a little bit more. But I have a question for people that are thinking the way Eric is thinking about how do I get to this event? And for Eric, we'll just play with Eric for a minute if I can. What do you do for work right now? What do you do for money?
Security is what I'm doing right now.
Okay. And how do you make your money? You get paid by a paycheck?
Right. Right.
Do you do any side hustle?
Yeah, I do.
What's your side hustle?
Actually, I got a little cleaning business that I have.
Okay. So my suggestion is actually dump some money and go into the Generator Business Boot Camp and spend the money to get the information we're talking about so we can show you how to build your side hustle into something that can pay for everything that you want to do. See,
Gotcha.
one of the things that I see happening, and you don't have to do that. You can go to the other event and you can try to catch and think about that. But when you focus on that how am I going to pay for this stuff idea instead of or I have to pay for this stuff instead of how can I pay for this, you're going to get into this place where I can't do it, and that can't is a limiting belief. There is a way. You have a cleaning business. How much do you charge for your cleaning business? Real quick.
Well, actually, it depends on the job.
Of course, but just on a whole.
You can say probably about residential is about $350 maybe.
$350 for a cleaning.
Yeah, for like cleaning the house.
So 3 houses, you'd have that whole trip covered in October. 5 houses, you'd have the trip to New England to go to our boot camp, and we can show you how to scale your business.
Right.
See what I'm talking about? When you start thinking about it that way, you just change your whole neurology into how can I make this money? And you start living on a basis of financial freedom is a skill instead of a goal.
I dig it. Sounds like a winner.
And so we add to that, Eric. We have scaled cleaning businesses before. So your business is actually a very easy business to scale right now in this market. And I love that you got a side hustle. The only thing I'm going to have to teach you, fortunately, we are talking about at the Generator Business Bootcamp, which is how to hire the right people, how to attract and hire the right people.
And that's our third day.
Yeah. So you're going to be, that simple answer, go to Generator Business Bootcamp. And by the way, why we do this 3 months before the summit is so that you have enough money to get to the summit and pay for Alchemist Mastery once you're there. The idea is Generator Business Bootcamp is designed to help you with your business, increase income. Net worth is something we use real estate for, but income, we generally focus on business to get income. Does that make sense? That business cash flow is a lot easier. It's a lot faster to cash flow.
Oh yeah.
Real estate could take a little bit of time. It could take some time to get that money out. Awesome. Let's give Eric a round of applause. Great question. I think it's
I appreciate it, fellas.
We should answer more often, I think. Thurman, go ahead, brother. See your hand up.
Happy to see you again. So I had 2 questions. I hope they're not too long, but so the first one was, how do you know you're being a good partner? And then also, when do you know if you should get a new partner?
Oh, this is great. I'll let Mike take these.
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So I'm an attorney, so people are thinking I'm going to give some sort of very concrete answer, but the real answer is trust your instincts and trust your gut. And when you see red flags, don't ignore them. And you would think that I would know this from business partnerships, which I guess I do, but I've learned this more from relationships before I was married. So what you find is that people will show you who they are. They will gift you all sorts of comments. They will make comments that show you if they're honest, if they're helpful. People say things all the time. You just have to be listening. So when people tell you things, don't disregard them, because there's this golden nugget at the end of the thing. Like there's this amazing deal where you could get like a five unit. It's like, it sounds so great. So all I have to do is partner with this person. All right, maybe their moral compass is a little bit off, but let's go do it. So, so then answer the first question, just watch for red flags or green lights. That would be my first one. And then for the second one, I would say, when you see those red flags, act quickly, and always have an exit strategy. If when you go into it, make sure that you set it up in a way that you can move on. That's what I got.
I love that. And Ron and I have always had an exit strategy. There's always been a buyout option for both of us. If either one decide, hey, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, we can always do the buyout. He and I probably talk about it once a year. You know, every so often I'll be like, do you want out, bro? I'll buy you out. And his price is always way more than I want to pay. So stay in it together.
So if I may, one of the things I think about partnerships, and what Mike said was right on, trust your gut. However, your head's going to be telling you a whole lot of crap that isn't necessarily true. So pay attention to if it's a still small voice inside telling you that there's a problem that you got to look at versus your head freaking out about the next thing that happened. Because our heads really do look for the problems and blow the problems out of proportion. But what you want to do, it also minimizes the problems. When there is a problem, we'll minimize the problem and go, well, it's a commitment problem for me and I got to stick in this. And so we don't tell ourselves the truth a lot. The best thing to do is what Mike talks about in his first step in his book, which is communicate. You need to talk to your partners. If you have a partnership, you need to be communicating, and you need to be over communicating. You need to make sure that they're on the same page. You need to make sure that you guys are moving the same direction. And I told a story the other day on a Facebook Live about one of my clients who thought they had the same values as somebody else that they were thinking about partnering ship, because they use the same words. And using the same words is great. But what my words mean to me might be the same words you use, but they might mean something completely different. So you have to really understand the meaning of what you mean by partnership, understand the meaning of what you mean by going into a deal together and what that looks like. Because so often we talk, but we don't understand that I'm meaning something else than Walter might be meaning. I say, hey, let's meet at the building. He thinks we're talking about the west side doors. I'm talking about the rights, but we said meet at the building. So we think we're meeting and we don't meet. Now, that's a very simple idea, but how much does that happen in the partnership and breaking up the money and or breaking up the duties or what? I think you're going to handle something and you think I'm going to handle it because we talked about handling it, but nobody took the assignment. You got to be clear, and you got to have it, like Mike says, written down, and you have to have some agreeable benchmarks so you know you can hold people accountable, you know that you can take responsibility, and you know you can get the results that you're looking for. If that's not happening, then you're not being a good partner. And if it's not happening on their side, although you're going for it, you need to have a conversation about that, and you need to get vulnerable about how that's feeling when it's not working.
So powerful. Great questions, Thurman. Let's give Thurman a round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Terry Wager.
Guys.
Thank you, Michael Shine. We got
hey, Walter, just a quick little ad. When I started my law partnership, I hate to say that's because there may be like analysis paralysis people in the room, but with my law partner, we met for a whole year before we agreed to partners. So we were meeting like weekly for lunch and talking about things to do exactly what Terry said, so that we understood that when we were speaking about things, we were saying the same thing. And it took a long time. I'm not a C personality, so it took some patience to go through that, but it was such an important partnership that we took the time and really hammered down the language, kind of like Terry was talking about. So yeah, take your time. It's no rush.
I'm going to add to that. And Julie Bradley, you're up next. For everybody who's considering partnering, that what Mike just dropped is true for every partnership I can think of. Ron, he and I were dating for a year, basically. We'd have lunch. He was in my office. We'd be working together every week. And it wasn't until after a year of really getting to know each other that we said, okay, let's do this. And then every other partner has been through the mentorship program and was hanging out with us we've all known each other for more than a year and have been going through week by week with the 52 weeks to wealth or in the mentorship program on Mondays and having those deeper conversations. So that year long, that is like, actually, that's really good, Mike. It does take a decent amount of time to identify whether a person's a good partner. That's why today's exercise included somebody you already know, somebody who've already been watching, observing, and has already sent you money, has already worked with you on some level. It may be an opportunity to deepen that. Go ahead, Julie.
Just to build, and it's a great segue to go after you, Walter, because I started reading the law of success, and he talked about our harmonious as a great word to identifying a partner and how you can be a good partner too. If you bring disagreement or you have someone that always disagrees, it's tough to kind of get together and accomplish anything. So again, going through meetings with someone throughout the year, you can really identify if it's going to be a harmonious energy between the two minds.
100%. Let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause. She is our bookkeeper. She's keeper of the books. A little different keeper of the books, right? What else? Amy McMurray, I know you've always got a great question from either somebody in the chat or from yourself.
So I guess my question would be, what if I don't know if I'm ready for a partner? Like, what are some signs that like you're ready to move to that next level?
That's great. That's great. I'm gonna go with Mitch Jaworski, because Mitch for the longest time was avoiding partners. And finally, I think he just took on another partner with his previous mentor. Mitch, how do you know? How do you know you're ready?
Yeah. I had things to say on the last question. I was typing in rap quotes that fit what's going on in chat about the fool me and shame on you stuff. I was about to quote J. Cole. I mean, come on. You're messing up my flow here. Messing up the side.
Hand scam if you'd like one of Mitch's rap quotes. Drop it on us, brother.
Oh, I'm not. No. Anyway, to answer Amy's question, partners. Yeah. So, I mean, I was kind of laughing when Mike was talking about, spending a year with his law firm partner and, iron that out, because like my first partner is someone I've known since I was 14 years old. I mean, we partnered 3 years ago, so we'd already known each other for whatever it was, 20 years. That lesson was, why the F didn't I do this way sooner? Because, him and I have acquired more real estate in, 3 years than I acquired on my own in, what was that? 8 years, I guess, 5, 6, yeah, like 7 years on my own. So, and here's the thing, my real estate investing partner, he brought no money to the deal. It's not like he brought a bunch of money and we were able to acquire like more stuff because of that. Like he brought zero money. Like I was the one that brought money. So partnerships are that valuable. But all the minutia that kind of these guys were getting into is true. Like you need to recognize strengths, weaknesses, all that. But to kind of go back to Thurban's question, on a high level, the answer is, to be a good partner, just don't suck as a person and you're already on your way. And, whether a partner is being good to you or, if you should partner, it's the same thing. It's like, if they suck as a person, then don't keep them as a partner. So that's like kind of the high level of it. You definitely want to iron out stuff ahead of time. But as far as being ready to partner, like the real answer is you were ready yesterday. Right? Like you're always ready to partner. It's just a matter of finding, that correct fit or the value adds. Like in the end, the point of partnering is to basically amplify and speed up getting to the destination, getting to the goal. So Amy, if you meet somebody that, can help you and you can help them, you're ready, right? In the end, it's, can I help this person? Can they help me? And by working together, can we basically help each other reach a goal faster, reach a goal bigger, whatever it is, right? Like the saying goes, what is it? I I'm gonna forget it. Walter knows what I'm thinking. The faster, what is it, with someone or farther with someone or faster alone? I forget how it goes.
You're almost nailing it. You're right there.
I'm
You can go farther with somebody, but you can go faster alone. And
Yes.
so some people just want that quick, let's go fast. But for us, we're long-term thinkers. So we're thinking, let's go the distance. Let's go with somebody else.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's so true. And like I said, I've seen it with myself, and also, the saying two heads are better than one. I mean, it really is true, because you have two sets of eyes. You have two, like everyone sees the world differently. We all see the world through our own lens, right? So you're going to get a different perspective, and they may see things that you don't see, and vice versa. And plus, like you have in the case, like with Walter and Ron, to use them example, those offsetting personalities is so huge. Like me personally, like earlier, I put a Billy Joel quote in the chat about, I just may be the lunatic you're looking for. With me, with partners, I generally am happy if I find someone that is a little quote unquote crazy, because I'm so good at being conservative and hitting singles. I want someone that's willing to push the envelope a little bit and get a little crazy and make me uncomfortable, because I know that I'm going to get more done. I'm going to reach bigger goals because of them pushing more aggressively. But at the same time, I offset them perfectly, because it's just like, I'm so great at risk parity and, risk adverse. So know thyself. But, circling back to your original question, you were ready yesterday. It's just a matter of finding a partner that, you add value to, that adds value to you, that has a similar goal. I mean, you have to have that same goal.
I love that. Let's give Mitch Jaworski a round of applause. Amy, great question. And to like super focus on what Mitch said right at the end, that's the money of it. You have to know what you want. You have to very clearly know what you're looking to produce and what you're looking to create, because then that opens up the void of what you're missing. And from that awareness, yes, in order to partner with somebody, you have to have a big enough goal that deserves a partner. If you're just trying to get by, you don't need a partner, right? It's very easy just to get by. But if you're looking to make $1 million, partnerships are the easiest way to get there. Partner with somebody who has the opposite, that fulfills your void, who fills that gap in whatever your skill level is. Be a decent human being. Like my mentor always says, be a decent human being and you'll attract decent human beings. If you don't trust people, if you don't trust yourself, then yes, you'll attract somebody who's not trustworthy. So focus on being trustworthy, trust yourself and small things, and you'll be able to do that on bigger things like partnering. Helpful?
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's give Amy McMurray a round of applause. It's a great question. I love it. And we'll take one last question, because me and Mike do have to go. I know a lot of the millionaires are already jumping off because they've also got to go. And Anila, your hand is up.
Hi, thank you so much. Coming back to the partnership, I tried actually this weekend to get a friend of mine to partner with me for me to buy my first house. And I wasn't very good at getting her to say yes. She didn't say no, but she didn't say yes. She was kind of in the middle. And I was like, I think I'm not doing this justice. So I'm understanding what you're saying, the importance of getting a partner. But how does somebody like me, who is just getting started, still is learning the language, this world of real estate, get people to say yes? She knows me very well. So she knows everything about me. And for her to trust me, to partner with me when I'm not 100% sure how to sell myself, I don't know. I feel like I still have a chance, but I don't know how to get it all the way.
I like this. And I see something Ron dropped in the chat. He said, alone, you can go fast into a wall. And with a partner, they can help you get over the wall. So hilarious. Let's give Ron Bowling a round of applause. I love that. And Ella, to answer your question, this concept of this person's known me forever and I can't seem to sell them, I can't seem to get that yes out of them, it's because they fucking know you and they know that you're not confident with the deal, and they know that they're feeling you shaking your boots. So you first have to get confident with the deal. You first have to feel like you do know what you're doing. Like no matter what happens, you're going to do it. What has been your history with this person will have a major impact on whether you're trustworthy in their eyes. Have you always delivered on things? And if you haven't, if they've seen you shake, in the past, that's a reason to be like, well, they haven't been super consistent in the past. Why would they be consistent with this? So where would you say you stand in both of those?
Well, she says, I trust you with my life. That's not so it's not about the trust. It's about, I think she trusts me as a person. I don't think she trusts my ability as a real estate person. Does that make sense? Because I've worked in the medical field all these years, and the real estate is such a new world to me. And she and her husband are always flipping, so they understand stuff more than I do. So I don't know if this makes sense what I'm saying, but I think
so. What were you looking for in the partnership? What was going to be your role?
So I was asking her if she was willing to help me finance, at least put down the money, like whatever the percentage is, to get like a double, like a 2 or 3 door. And I told her that I would pay her back monthly plus interest. And she was like, it sounds good, but I don't know. You got to tell me more. Like, I trust you. Because I said to her, you trust me, right? And she's like, yes, I trust you with my life. That's not the problem. It's not trust. The problem is, do you know what you're talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. All right. Got it.
So
this
let me
is good
jump
for everybody
in
on the call.
Let me jump in here if I could. People will not do something because you don't know what you're talking about. They won't do something because you're trying to convince them you know enough about what you're talking about. But if you went to this person and say, you know what, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's one of the biggest reasons I want to partner with you, because you've done this before and you can help me walk through it. And I really want to do this. You have knowledge. You have some money. I'll go bird dog. I'll go find, excuse me, I'm choking. I'll go find the property. You help me finance it. And I'll give you whatever percentage you want to help me learn this. And so I think what's going on with you is you're coming from a place of trying to prove yourself instead of trying to ask for help.
I guess I just don't know how to do it. I don't know.
Right. And I just gave you the words to use. Did you hear what I said? I can say it again, I think.
Hey, I don't know. Yes.
I don't want to convince you. This is what I would say. I don't want to convince you I know what I'm doing. I want to learn from you because you've already done this a number of times with your husband. And I need to learn how to do some of this stuff so that I can do it on my own eventually. But you guys have a formula. You guys know what you're doing. And I'd like to get a 2 or 3 family and partner with you. And it happens all the time in Alchemist Nation. People are doing it all the time.
If you're not feeling that answer, if you don't want to learn from them, then sometimes it makes sense to learn from somebody else. And the mentorship may be a good opportunity for you. It may make sense to jump on a Millionaire Path consultation with Amy or Derek. Because sometimes that's the case, right? We don't want to learn from our friends because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think they don't want to necessarily teach me. I mean, they're busy with their projects and, they don't have time for me. Like, I would be like another burden on their plate, so, and that's why I wasn't there to ask them to teach me anything. I was there to ask them to partner with me. And I was trying to make it a win-win situation for both of us.
Right. And so
I could sense that in what you were saying.
2 things there. One, I'd check in with yourself because you just told yourself what they're thinking. That means you're not actually talking to them. Number 2, you don't know that they don't want to teach you because you told yourself that. I would have that conversation with them. And if they don't want to move forward with you, do what Walter just said, join the mentorship. We will help you understand how to go about that. There's people that partner all together all the time in Alchemist Nation. Show up at the boot camp. We'll walk you through how to do some of those things. You have many options, and you're doing what a lot of people do, which is hesitate because you tried one thing one way and then you listen to yourself that it's not working. But the biggest key to any of this is becoming more vulnerable and more honest about where you're at with what you need and what you want. And when you can get honest with that, you can actually start moving forward. I would suggest getting into the mentorship because we cover a lot of that.
That's another thing. I'm very interested in the mentorship. I just have to find a way, financial way to get there. That's what it is. It's the,
Talk to Dorina.
Not Dorina, talk to Amy.
anyways,
Dorina's doing other activities now.
yeah. So anyways, I don't want to take too much of your time. I appreciate your willingness to listen to me and answer me, and your time and these meetings every Saturday. They're very encouraging. And so thank you so much.
Anila, you're important, right? So this is just the beginning. You're a powerful woman who's going to be learning these skills, and very soon people will be coming to you asking for money, asking to teach them how to do deals. And so it's just, we're making that little investment right now, and over time, you're going to be able to pay this forward to other people. So you're worth the time, you're worth the investment. And thank you for the question.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
I want to point out real quick that the way you were like apologizing as you were thanking us, if that's coming across in your conversations with the person that you were talking to, that can kill a deal real quick, because you're actually conveying that I'm not as worthy as someone else. And so it's a really weird thing that we get into a habit of unconsciously. We almost apologize for being, and it's like, no, you have every right to be here. You got a link, you found your way here, you belong here, and you can ask a question and we will answer it if we have time. That's what this is for. We want you to be asking the questions. You do not need to apologize or thank us for the time, because it's yours. We gave it to you. We want to do this. And when you talk to Amy, she wants to give you that time to talk about if the mentorship is a good idea or not. We want to help people make decisions, and we want people to stand in their power and take action. And when you walk in and go, I'm not sure if you would want to do, nobody wants to do that. But you go, I got this thing happening. I want to make a deal. I want you to help me because you know what you're doing. There's a confidence that you belong there, even though you don't know what you're doing.
I don't know how to get that confidence. I have to learn.
Join the mentorship.
We'll take care of you, Anila. Let's give Anila a round of applause. Have a conversation with Amy. Amy, I think, just dropped her link. And this, what this kind of reminds me of, Ron just dropped in the chat with me on the side, is building relationships, building partnerships around friendships is not always, very rarely the best strategy. Build partnerships around admiration, around respect, around somebody you see doing really well and that you admire and you like, and you see, value you can bring. The friendship will develop if you want it to, if you spend time around it. I am, friends with all my partners, but that was, something that came out of post doing really great stuff together, right? Really serving with people together. The friendships kind of develop after we're spending all this time building things. So, so Anila, it's okay if we're not necessarily partnering with our friends immediately, but I will also say I do partner with my friends all the time, right? When they see the value in what I'm doing. And that's what we'll work with you on the mentorship to be able to create your value and position yourself so that people do see your value in what you're doing, and acknowledge you as somebody who does know how to evaluate deals, even if you take as long as Brian Huffman to figure out how to evaluate deals and get some confidence around it, which Brian has to be setting a record for us right now on how long it takes to build his confidence to go and do the deals. Which, let's give Brian Huffman a round of applause, because even
there is a book out there on that.
He's got the books though. He's reading the books. I love Brian. All right, I saw your hand, Julie, that we do have to jump off. Me and Mike totally intend to be at this training right now.
I just wanted to give a testimony. I'm a mentorship graduate, so maybe it'll help Anila recognize that to find the money, you will not be disappointed. I have 300 times my net worth by going through the mentorship. Don't take no for an answer. Find a way to take down your deal. And the more deals you do, people will come to you. They will, just like Walter said, it has happened. I have gotten taken to lunch 3 times, and it's never happened before in my life. So just keep taking down those deals, and the right people will come to you. Thank you. Thank you.
So powerful. Let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause. I love seeing everybody's success. I love seeing the questions. I love seeing the comments. I love seeing Julie Bradley's testimonials every week. They're fantastic. They change, they adjust. For everybody who wants to give us a testimonial, we'll take testimonials because that's one of the most compelling ways to bring somebody into the mentorship, to get somebody to become a millionaire. When you spend time with millionaires, you inevitably become a millionaire. Focus on the best, surround yourself with the best, and you will eventually become the best. To speed it up, ask a few questions, right? If you're already hanging out with millionaires, ask a few questions. That's what alchemistnation.com is all about. Drop your questions out in the activity feed. If you send them directly to one of us in a messenger, you're going to be delayed by how long it takes us to go and look at our messages. But if you send them in the activity feed, whoever is paying attention at that time is going to start jumping in. And like in this call, all the coaches want to answer at some point. So let's give our coaches a big round of applause for hanging out with us. These are all millionaires, millionaire females, millionaire males, men and women who have created wealth for themselves, and now they're paying it forward and creating wealth for others. We've all made the commitment to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Alchemist Nation is here to serve, to support, and answer questions. So cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the
Always
best.
work with the best, the best, the best.
I'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Later, Eric. Bye, guys. Mike, let's go. We got an event to be at. Let's go. Network on.
Gotta go.